I will do a brief demo of how to use the text chart in Flex. I have a text that I have analyzed, and it has word glosses. This is the text chart view. I'm on the text chart tab, and it has multiple columns that you can move words into. At the bottom is a text ribbon that contains the running version of your text, and at the far left is the first part of the text, and you move through one word by word or phrase by phrase and move items up into the chart. Now here I am glossing Quechua data. In Quechua data, the Quechua language is primarily SOV, subject, object, verb. And the default chart starts out subject, verb, object. So I need to change that. If you need to change the organization of your chart template, you want to go to the lists area and you want to look for text constituent chart. I realize it's tempting to go to this other one, but that one's called text chart markers. You want this second one, which is text constituent chart template. It's usually too long to see the whole thing. So I will click on that. And here's the template that I'm using. And I zero in, I find the nucleus column group, and I want to change the order within the nucleus. So I click on the one I want to move, object, and I right click, and I have the option to move it up. And so now my chart template is in the order that I want. So I will go back to the text and words area, and now I can begin charting. First, let me adjust my text ribbon so that I can see both the word and the word gloss. That helps. Okay, this first word is an introducer or a connective, so I will put it in the outer column. And now this is a subject. So to begin with, the first word is highlighted. And if you click on a column, then it will move that word up into that column. This is an adverb. And I will put it in the verb column along with the verb. And this other word is a verb. I don't have it glossed, but I want both of them up in the verb column. So now I've clicked both of them, and I can click the verb column and they both go up. And now this next one is also a verb. It's a purpose verb. But I want it, we try to put one verb per row. So I need it in the next row, but it's not a new sentence. If I were to just click verb right now, it would put it up with the others, but I want it in a new row. So I will click undo to take it back out. And what I need to do now is use the right click, and I want to insert a row below. That will give me a new place to put it. So now I can put it in the same column as the other one, but it will be in a new row. Okay. And then that one has a noun that's the object, but normally the object would go here. I will go ahead and put this object up in the inner column over on the right, and I'm going to mark it as being postposed from the object complement position. So when something is displaced, you can mark it in red and it will put these little arrows where it came from. And that helps you see places where the word order is not standard. So I will go a bit more. This connective will also go in outer. And here's another verb. And again, there's another verb. And so I want to insert another row below, and I will insert the word said there. I forgot this other one, this chai now begins a new sentence. So if I want to mark that this is the last row of a sentence, I can come and choose that. And then we get a line between them and the numbering starts over. So the 1A, 1B are for different clauses. The digit increases if it's a new sentence. And there was also an option for last paragraph, and that would give you a much darker line. The numbering continues sequentially. Okay, so that's a beginning. Now, one other thing that you can do is you can put little marks into the cells. So there are chart markers. So if I wanted to mark tense aspect mood, there's that option. Now, the particular thing that I want to mark isn't in this list, the list that ships with Flex was customized for a Bantu language in Africa. If you want to see the list of chart markers, go back over to the lists area. And now you can use this other one that looked like it was going to be for the chart template, but this is for the chart markers. And I want to mark perfective and imperfective. So I will open tense, aspect, mood. And I've looked through this and it's not there. So I'm going to add my own. So on these buttons up here, these are for insert. You could use insert for a marker or a sub item, or this icon inserts a sibling of whatever is selected, and this other one inserts a child. So I want to insert a child of tense, aspect, mood. And so now there's a new item, and I'm going to call this simply aspect, because I don't see anything here that's just about aspect, and I want it to be more straightforward and easy for me to see. So I want a child of aspect, and I will call that perfective. And maybe I want a sibling of that one. So now I'll click on this different icon, and I want this one to be imperfective. So I've added some markers that I can use. And if I don't want all the Bantu ones, I could delete all of these. I could click on this and click the delete button, and it would delete it. But the ones that I've added are there. So let's go back to the text chart area. And so for instance, now I'm not sure of the tenses for these, but let's say that I wanted to mark this one as imperfective. Now I could come down here to tense, aspect, mood, find my aspect mark, and I could say that one is imperfective. And if I wanted, this is not accurate for the language, but if I wanted to call this one perfective, we come down here to aspect and choose perfective. And so you get these little marks in the cell. And then if you're wanting to see which part of the story were imperfective and which part were perfective, you can scan down the column and look for these markers. So that's a basic introduction to using the chart.